This morning, something tragic happened. A 72-year-old woman passed away unexpectedly. No major illness, no warning signs, just a quiet morning that turned into something devastating. What caused it? A simple mistake. One that millions of people over 70 make every single day without even realizing it. The truth is, as we age, our bodies become more sensitive to small habits that might have seemed harmless in our younger years. What used to be just a quirk in our morning routine can turn into a serious health risk after 70. And the scary part? Most people don't even know they're doing anything wrong. That's why this message is so important, especially if you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, because there are 4 common morning mistakes that could be quietly putting your health in danger. Mistakes that affect your heart, your circulation, your balance, and even your brain. And the worst one? Hardly anyone talks about it, even though it dramatically increases your risk of falls, dizziness, and heart issues. But here's the good news. Once you're of these mistakes, they're incredibly easy to fix. And correcting them can mean the difference between a healthy, independent life and a serious medical emergency. So grab a cup of tea or coffee, after breakfast of course, and stick with me. You're about to learn how to start your mornings in a safer, smarter way. Your health is worth a few minutes of attention, especially if it means more active days, fewer doctor visits, and more time doing the things you love with the people who matter most. Let's dive in. 1. Getting out of bed too quickly. It's a habit we've all had at some point, waking up and swinging our legs over the side of the bed before we're even fully awake. For decades, you probably didn't think twice about it. After all, mornings are busy, and whether you've got a dog to let out, a spouse waiting for coffee, or just a daily routine to keep, it feels natural to start moving as soon as your eyes open. But here's something you might not realize. After the age of 70, that one quick motion, getting up too fast, can actually be one of the most dangerous ways to start your day. As we age, our circulatory system doesn't bounce back as quickly as it used to. When we're lying down for several hours, like during sleep, blood tends to pool in the lower half of our body. Standing up too quickly can cause a sudden drop in blood pressure, a condition called orthostatic hypotension, and that can lead to dizziness, blurred vision, lightheadedness, and even fainting. Imagine standing up and suddenly seeing stars or feeling like the floor just dropped beneath you. That few seconds of instability is all it takes to lose your balance and take a dangerous fall. For older adults, falls are not just minor accidents. They're a leading cause of broken bones, head injuries, hospitalizations, and even long-term disability. Let me tell you about Edward, a 74-year-old retired high school teacher from Indiana. Every morning, Edward would hop out of bed and head straight to the bathroom. One morning, he got up a little too fast, felt his knees buckle, and blacked out for a brief moment. Thankfully, he fell backward onto his bed instead of forward onto the floor. It was a wake-up call, literally and figuratively. That day, his doctor explained the dangers of rising too quickly and taught him a simple routine to keep himself safe. Here's what Edward and now you can do to reduce that risk. The 3-step wake-up process. Step 1. Wake up gently. The moment you open your eyes, resist the urge to jump into action. Instead, take a few deep breaths. Wiggle your fingers and toes. This light movement starts to stimulate your nervous system and reactivate circulation. Step 2. Roll and sit slowly. Turn to your side and use your arms to help you push into a seated position. Let your feet rest flat on the floor. Don't rush this step. Take your time. Sit for a moment and get a sense of how your body feels. Step 3. Prepare to stand. Before standing up, gently rotate your ankles, stretch your arms, maybe shrug your shoulders a few times. This helps your joints loosen up and gives your blood pressure a chance to stabilize. Then, when you feel ready, stand up slowly, using a nightstand or bed frame for support if needed. This whole process takes less than 2 minutes, but those 2 minutes could prevent a fall that changes your life forever. Another tip? Keep a soft night light or motion sensor light near your bed. If you do get dizzy, you won't be fumbling around in the dark. And make sure the floor between your bed and the bathroom is clear of rugs, shoes, or anything else that could trip you up. Your body may not move like it used to, but with just a little extra care and awareness, you can keep your mornings safe and steady. So tomorrow morning, before you make that first move, pause. Give your body a moment to catch up with your mind. You've earned the right to take it slow. And believe it or not, those few extra seconds might just be the smartest and safest thing you do all day. 2. Not drinking water right after waking up. Picture this. You wake up in the morning, shuffle into the kitchen, and pour yourself a hot cup of coffee. It's comforting, warm, and maybe it's been your morning ritual for decades. But here's something that might surprise you. If water isn't the first thing you drink after waking up, your body could be starting the day already in the red. After about 7 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is naturally dehydrated. You haven't had any fluids all night, but your body's still been hard at work, breathing, digesting, regulating temperature. You even lose water through your breath and skin while you sleep. So when morning comes, you're starting your day at a hydration deficit, whether you feel thirsty or not. And for people over 70, that mild dehydration can be much more serious than you might think. Dehydration in older adults can slow down circulation, thicken your blood, strain your kidneys, and even increase the risk of heart complications or stroke. It can also lead to fatigue, joint stiffness, brain fog, and balance issues. Not a great way to start your day. Let's take James, for example. James is 76 and has always been a creature of habit. He'd wake up, turn on the TV for the morning news, and head straight for his beloved coffee pot. But as the years went by, he started to feel groggy in the mornings, sometimes dizzy, and he even developed occasional headaches. His doctor asked one simple question: "Do you drink any water before your coffee?" James hadn't even thought about it, but once he made a habit of drinking a full glass of water first thing in the morning, things changed. His energy picked up, his headaches faded, and he felt noticeably sharper. So why does water matter so much in the morning? Think of your body like a car. You wouldn't try to start driving without oil in the engine or fluid in the radiator. Your organs, especially your brain, heart, and kidneys, need hydration to function efficiently. Water helps keep your blood flowing, supports digestion, flushes out toxins, and lubricates your joints. And when you're older, your body doesn't conserve or signal thirst as well as it used to. That means you might already be dehydrated before you even feel thirsty. Here's how to build a morning water habit. 1. Keep it simple. Place a 12 to 16 ounce glass of water on your nightstand before bed. When you wake up, drink it before you even leave the room. This small habit is easy to build and takes less than a minute. 2. Make it pleasant. If plain water doesn't appeal to you in the morning, try adding a splash of lemon or cucumber for flavor. You can also warm the water slightly. Many people over 60 find that warm or room temperature water is gentler on the stomach. 3. Don't wait until you're thirsty. By the time your body signals thirst, you're already dehydrated. Treat that first glass of water like brushing your teeth. It's a non-negotiable part of your morning routine. And what about coffee? Don't worry. You don't need to give it up. Just wait until after you've had your water and maybe even a light snack. Coffee is a mild diuretic, which means it actually encourages your body to lose fluids. Starting with water first helps balance things out and keeps your system running smoothly. Bonus tip: if you take morning medications, water helps ensure proper absorption and reduces the risk of stomach upset. So tomorrow morning, before you brew your coffee or check your phone, do your body a favor. Reach for a glass of water. It's one of the simplest, most powerful health changes you can make, and it costs nothing. Hydration is often overlooked, but it's a cornerstone of energy, clarity, and overall vitality. Especially as we age, we can't afford to skip the basics. And drinking water right when you wake up, that's about as basic and as powerful as it gets. 3. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. For many Americans, the day doesn't officially begin until that first sip of coffee hits the tongue. Whether it's brewed in a classic Mr. Coffee machine, poured from a Keurig, or picked up at the local diner, that warm, comforting cup is part of our culture. But if you're drinking your morning coffee before eating anything, especially after age 55, you might be setting yourself up for some avoidable health issues. Let's talk about why timing matters. Because when your stomach is empty, your body is in a delicate state. When you wake up in the morning, your stomach has been empty for 7 to 8 hours. Your blood sugar is low, your digestive system is just revving up, and your cortisol levels, the body's natural stress hormone, are at their daily peak. Introducing coffee into this state can throw things out of balance fast. Coffee is highly acidic. Drinking it on an empty stomach can irritate your stomach lining, increase acid production, and lead to issues like indigestion, heartburn, and acid reflux. You might not notice it right away, but over time, that daily habit can wear down your digestive comfort and even contribute to long-term gastrointestinal problems. And that's not all. Drinking coffee without food can cause a spike in cortisol, especially in older adults, whose hormone regulation isn't as efficient as it used to be. That means you might feel anxious, jittery, or even lightheaded after your morning cup. Sound familiar? Take Robert, for example. At 75, he had a long-standing routine. Wake up, pour a cup of strong black coffee, and sit by the window while the sun came up. He loved the peace and ritual of it. But over time, he began experiencing stomach discomfort, occasional nausea, and a general sense of unease mid-morning. After talking with his doctor, Robert learned the problem wasn't the coffee, it was the fact that he was drinking it on an empty stomach. He started eating a small snack before his first cup, half a banana, a slice of whole grain toast, or a handful of unsalted almonds. Within a few weeks, the discomfort faded, and he still got to enjoy his morning ritual without the side effects. Why does eating first help? Food helps buffer the acidity of coffee, slowing its absorption into your system. It also stabilizes blood sugar and helps moderate your body's cortisol response. With a little food in your stomach, you're less likely to experience the energy spike and crash that sometimes follows that first cup of joe. If you're over 55, here are a few tips to protect your stomach and your nerves without giving up your coffee. 1. To eat something light beforehand. You don't need a full breakfast buffet. A slice of toast with peanut butter, a boiled egg, Greek yogurt, or even a few whole wheat crackers can make a difference. 2. Choose lower acidity options. If you're sensitive to acidity, go for low-acid coffee blends. Cold brew is also naturally less acidic than hot brewed coffee and may be gentler on the stomach. 3. Be mindful of add-ins. Sugar and flavored creamers can irritate your system further, especially if they're processed or artificial. Try using unsweetened oat milk, a dash of cinnamon, or even just plain half and half if you tolerate dairy. 4. Don't skip hydration. Have a glass of water before your coffee. It helps rehydrate your body and prepares your digestive system. Look, coffee isn't the enemy. For many of us, it's a little moment of joy, a connection to memories, routines, and comfort. But like many things after 55, how and when we do it makes all the difference. So tomorrow morning, before you hit that brew button or swing through the Starbucks drive-thru, ask yourself, have I given my body what it needs to handle this? Because that first cup of coffee should lift you up, not drag your gut or mood down. 4. Ignoring morning stiffness and moving too quickly. We've all experienced it, waking up with stiff knees, a sore back, or tight shoulders. It's easy to brush off. After all, just a little stiffness has become a familiar part of getting older. But here's the truth. Ignoring that stiffness and jumping into movement too quickly, especially first thing in the morning, can be a recipe for serious injury. As we age, our muscles, joints, and connective tissues naturally lose some of their flexibility. Our bodies also produce less synovial fluid, the lubricant that keeps joints moving smoothly. Add in hours of stillness overnight, and by morning, your body is cold, tight, and not quite ready for action. Unfortunately, many people over 55 don't give their bodies time to catch up before getting out of bed and starting the day. That sudden movement, whether it's heading straight to the bathroom or bending over to feed the cat, can easily lead to pulled muscles, joint pain, or even a fall. Let's talk about Walter, a 78-year-old grandfather from Ohio. Every morning he'd hop out of bed to beat his wife to the coffee pot. One morning he felt a little extra tightness in his lower back but didn't think much of it. As he reached to put on his slippers, he twisted just slightly, and that was it. A sharp pain shot down his leg. He ended up with a pinched nerve that required weeks of physical therapy and left him needing a cane temporarily, all because he didn't give his body a few minutes to loosen up. So how can you avoid this? The answer is simple. Take your time. The first few minutes after waking are critical. Your body needs a gentle transition from rest to motion, especially if you want to avoid strain or injury. It's like warming up your car on a cold winter morning. You wouldn't floor the gas before the engine's ready. Your body deserves the same care. Here's a simple morning warm-up routine to ease stiffness and improve mobility. 1. Start while still in bed. Wiggle your fingers and toes to get your blood flowing. Gently rotate your ankles and wrists. Bring one knee at a time toward your chest, holding for a few seconds to loosen the lower back and hips. Roll your shoulders back and forth. Take a few deep breaths, expanding your lungs and gently waking up your system. 2. Sit up slowly. Roll onto your side and push yourself up with your arms, keeping your movements slow and steady. Let your feet rest flat on the floor and take another moment to gauge how your joints feel. 3. Stretch before you stand. While sitting, gently reach your arms overhead and stretch to the ceiling. Do a few neck rolls, slow and controlled, to relieve stiffness in your neck. Flex and point your toes to prepare your legs for standing. If needed, hold onto the bed frame or a nightstand when you stand up, just to keep your balance in check. 4. Walk slowly at first. Avoid rushing to the bathroom or kitchen. Take your time with your first few steps. If the lighting is dim, use a motion sensor nightlight to avoid tripping. It might feel like you're adding extra steps to your morning, but in reality, this routine takes just 2 to 3 minutes, and it can save you months of pain and recovery from a fall or injury. And remember, morning stiffness isn't just a nuisance. It's a signal from your body. It's saying, hey, I need a moment to get ready. Respecting that message is key to maintaining your mobility and independence as you age. So tomorrow morning, before you jump out of bed and start tackling your to-do list, pause. Move gently, stretch with intention. You'll feel better, move better, and you'll drastically reduce your risk of hurting yourself before the day even begins. Because at the end of the day, staying active starts with how you wake up. As we wrap things up, take a moment to reflect on how your morning usually starts. Are you hopping out of bed too quickly? Skipping water? Reaching for coffee before a bite of food? Or maybe pushing through that morning stiffness without a second thought? The truth is, after age 55, the small things matter more than ever. The way you begin your day can set the tone for everything that follows: your energy, your balance, your digestion, and even your mood. And while these 4 morning mistakes may seem harmless on the surface, they can slowly chip away at your health over time. The good news? Each of these mistakes is easy to fix, and you don't have to turn your routine upside down to do it. Just a few thoughtful changes: a slower rise, a glass of water before anything else, a light snack before your coffee, and some gentle stretching can protect your body, sharpen your mind, and help you feel stronger every single day. Your mornings don't have to be rushed or risky. They can be intentional, supportive, and centered around your well-being. Because staying healthy isn't just about doctor visits and medications. It's about what you do at home every morning before the rest of the world wakes up. So tomorrow, give yourself those extra few minutes. Your future self will thank you. And if this message resonated with you, share it with a friend, a spouse, or someone you love. We all deserve to age with grace, strength, and confidence, starting from the very first moment of the day. Here's to better mornings ahead. We'd love to hear from you. Which of these signs resonated most with you? Leave a comment below and share one insight you're taking with you today. Your thoughts truly matter and help us create content that speaks to your experience. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it with a friend. Your support means the world to us. Thank you for spending your time with us today, and we hope to see you back for our next video. Until then, take care and keep shining.